How's it? Today is Monday, July 8th, and I have slowly started to put together a checklist of things that I need to do every day to optimize my performance. I'll go over that in a little bit, but today was a snatch day, just an extension and increase from what I did last week. Last week was pretty good. I kind of focused on getting as much recovery in as possible, which in a lot of cases just looks like sleeping better, sleeping at a appropriate time and waking up at an appropriate time. And I think it went very well last week. I did pretty well on Wednesday, PR'd, did pretty well on Friday, pretty well on Saturday as well, PR'd on that day as well. But for today, started off with some snatch push presses plus overhead squat up to 120. 120 is pushing it. 120 is fairly heavy for me. Last week I did 115. I don't know what my best is with a 3+1. I do know that I did a 1+1 at 130 in the past. I don't know if I can do 3+1 at 130. That seems like a lot. But I think I want to try 3+1 next week at 125. I imagine that's going to be a PR. I feel like the most I've ever done for that is 1+1. Here's my top set at 120. I do have to sort of regroup after I catch the weight because it's hard. It is very, very, very hard. You see, I'm like kind of moving around a lot here. And this last rep, watch this. This is a struggle for sure. Oh jeez, that's like a elbow rebend on my left arm. And then this overhead portion was a fight. It was such a big fight, and I don't usually get like that on the overhead work, but I was very happy with that. I just like in between the second and third rep, I was thinking to myself like, oh, now I have to like actually go and do this, and if I don't, it's gonna really, 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 really make me mad. And I was happy I fought through it and was able to do it. After that, I moved into my snatches. Still doing doubles. Last week I did doubles up to 94, and I don't remember if I failed any. I feel like I failed one set, and then I made all three of them. I'm like pretty sure that's what happened, but today I did worse than that. I made a set of two. I failed the next one. I made a set of two. I failed the second rep on the next one, and then I made a set of two. So in totality, I made all of them, but it was just, I feel like I'm getting a lot more consistent with the movements. But my warm ups today were really odd. I don't know if you saw that at the 60. I was kind of making a face. It's like, I don't know what that was. But yeah, kind of going back to what I was talking about earlier, my checklist of things. There's a checklist of a lot of things kind of inside and outside of the gym. Checklist for, this is my last warm-up set, by the way. This was a lot better than 60 was, so yes. First set here, 97. But yeah, the checklist of things that I'm talking about or thinking about inside and outside of the gym. Inside the gym is making sure that I get a proper warm-up. I do 3 things as my warm-up every single day, and sometimes I do more than that. But I will always do the McGill Big 3, a little hip mobility stretch, kind of, not really. It's like a warm-up like the 90-90s with a bunch of other stuff in there. And then I will always do an upper back T-spine mobility warm-up type thing as well. And sometimes I'll do a hamstring warm-up, or sometimes I might do a shoulder warm-up. But those are the things that I do inside of the gym. Those are really easy to do. It does take a lot of time. Like if I do it correctly, it takes about, that's my first fail. And I was like, fuck this weight. Watch me kick the weight. Watch me kick it. But I do take probably like 40-ish minutes or so at the beginning of each session. to make sure that those things are, off of my checklist, done in my checklist. And I think that has helped me a lot I wouldn't necessarily say I'm healthy right now, but I'm healthier than I've been in a long time for a longer stretch of time, which is a small W here, right? After that, kind of outside of the gym stuff, I'm looking at getting my sleep hygiene all together. And, that, like, last week was kind of me taking the first step into that. And I feel like I'm building a habit to make sure that is something that continues to happen. And then, in addition to that, I do want to make sure that I at least hit my protein for the day. Realistically, I probably only need about 120, 130 grams of protein to be like fully functioning and like make sure that I have enough energy and recovery to get the recovery I need. But if I want to be a little bit more lean, which I do, I'm going to up that to closer to 160, 165. That's kind of where my, it's a 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I have like 165, 167-ish, kind of in that range. And a lot of times when you eat protein, a lot of protein, you're not going to be very hungry. So you can't really eat extra. Yes, you can eat extra. I've done that a lot in the past, but you feel satiated much sooner when you have a higher protein diet. This is my last rep. Very happy that I was able to make it. And yeah, after that I moved into my snatch pulls. Actually ripped my finger. I'm gonna show it here kind of, but it's kind of but my finger started bleeding, which doesn't happen. I'm fairly sure it's from my hands being so dry, not because of the weightlifting, because like it cracked in like a strange spot like that I don't think actually has any pull on the bar. But yeah. Wow, I'm really shiny here. I look like a little freaking wet dolphin. But yeah, the 120. This is heavier than what I want to be snatching, but I feel like off of the ground, this is moving very well. And if I can kind of maintain those positions off of the ground with this weight, at some point I'm going to be strong enough to snatch, 109. That's a PR. 110. I guess 108's a PR. Would have been a PR too, but 110 and then eventually 115. That's the ultimate goal. Snatch 115. I guess the ultimate goal is to be happy, but what would make me happy? Snatching 115. After that I did some pull-ups here. I actually did some weighted pull-ups, but in a very interesting way. The efficient way to do it. So I've actually used to do this quite often, but I never actually videoed it from that bottom angle before. But yeah, finished off with my Palloff press. Last week the Dragon Flags was a little too difficult, and I kind of felt like my upper abs didn't really have a chance to recover from that. So yeah, that was pretty much it for today. It was very productive, and I'm super happy with how the overhead stuff started at the beginning, and happy that I was able to make all of the doubles, even though I missed a couple. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.